Hey there, it's Marisa and I have a video here for you that is all about how to get followers on Instagram. So I by no means am the Instagram queen or anything like that, but I have had people, ask me, Marisa, how do you get so many followers on Instagram? Or Marisa, what do you do to get so many likes on your Instagram pictures? And so I thought, what cooler way to let everybody know than to make a video for YouTube. And I just kind of want to share the love because Instagram is, in my opinion, a really cool and unique social media output thingy, and I really like sharing my pictures on there, and I just want people's accounts to grow like mine has. So just a little background, I've had my Instagram page for like 4 years. I've had it a super long time, so that's probably one of the reasons why my follower amount is as high as it is. My Instagram is at Marisa with 3 L's after it if you want to look at it, but I think it's almost at 4,000 followers, which is way more, the biggest amount of followers probably I have combined with all my other social media type things like Twitter and Tumblr and YouTube and stuff. And now people ask me, how'd you get so many followers? I can literally print out the URL of this video and then tape it to their forehead because it gets kind of annoying sometimes. So let's get into all my tips and tricks. I think it's essential to have a nice build-up of your Instagram to gain followers, if you know what I mean. So we can talk about that real quick. And that just kind of includes, I guess, the username, the bio, and yeah, that's basically all the things you have to consider when making your Instagram account. But yeah, so for the name, I recommend choosing something, simple that people will remember. Literally, I've seen this happen in real life multiple times where people will call someone by their Instagram username, and it's just kind of, how things are now. And I think that's kind of funny in my opinion. So you want to pick a name that you really like and something that you think represents you. I kind of would be cautious of using, an underscore or numbers, or I think you can even use periods in your username now. So I would kind of try to stay away from that. And so for your bio, it's something someone will see as soon as they click on your Instagram. And so I would just put, a little bit of thought into your Instagram bio. It used to be super cool to list all your friends in your Instagram bio. I am guilty of this. I'm pretty sure I made a post and it was like this picture if you want to be in my bio. And that is so embarrassing, but it's true. And so yeah, but I would say something, witty, short and sweet, gets to the point of what you want your Instagram to show. So yeah, make sure to, think about those two things when you're setting up your Instagram and if you want your Instagram to flourish. Alright, so here's the biggest ramble of the video is your Instagram content / your Instagram's theme. The cool thing about Instagram is that you can have multiple accounts, and I think it's a really cool idea if you are super into beauty or fitness or clothes or something. You can totally create an Instagram page solely for that and then also have a personal page as well. So I mean, I would totally recommend just trying that out if that's something that interests you, because you can just delete it later if you're not really into it or something. And I've seen certain pages become really popular. I think it's important to have the same type of photos, but it's not super it doesn't you can still be successful even if you don't do that. I'm kind of weird. I call it epic photography, but that's the type of photos where it's shot with a DSLR and it's edited with Photoshop or something fancy like that. And it just kind of, I think, throws people off guard if they see a picture like that with a lesser quality selfie or something. So you can mix that. I've seen it happen. I'll throw up some pictures of accounts that I like that are themed and maybe do my example of epic photography or whatever. But yeah, the whole thing is it's your account and you can post whatever you want to. That's just kind of my tip of that. For an Instagram theme, I know people talk about this a lot. It's just basically, you know, having pictures that flow together, and you definitely don't need, you know, one filter to use on all your pictures or anything like that. It used to be cool to have white borders around your pictures. I was never really into that because it's extra work, but people have totally stopped doing that now for the most part. So I don't know, you don't have to like post like, you know, the same thing as everybody else does. I know it's like cooler now to have like the darker feeds that are like super underexposed. Like it's really cool and it like shows their personality, but personally for me, I follow some accounts like that, but I like bright, happier feeds, and I'll just continue putting up pictures of, you know, feeds that I really like and enjoy looking at. I like follow some people, like I've been following people on Instagram for like 2 years and like 2+ years, and I feel like I know them. So yeah, I don't know, just pictures that, you know, complement each other and kind of look cool together. I think that's really cool, and you should like take advantage of that if you're able to do that, if that made any sense. So yeah. Okay, so now you guys are probably super annoyed with all my blabbering, but here are how to actually gain followers. One of the first strategies I just want to talk about to get out of the way, but it is buying followers. People ask me, they're like, do you buy followers? And I'm like, no. I'm a 16-year-old girl. I don't have the money to drop just on, you know, followers. I don't really recommend that strategy at all, just because they're probably like inactive. I don't know exactly how, you know, the whole thing works, but I'm imagining it's just someone, you know, computing in to follow you with a bunch of different accounts, and they're not gonna like your pictures, and they're just kind of gonna be sitting there. So I wouldn't even go for that, to be honest, at all. So another strategy is shout out for shout out, and I'm sure Instagram users totally know what that is. It used to be like super popular, but I feel like I don't see it as much anymore. And I always thought that was like in moderation. I think shout out for shout out is like a good thing, but if it's like spam and it's constant and it's like daily or weekly even, it'll really annoy your like followers, like your true followers, and they will unfollow you, and that's not what you want. So if you can find a situation with an account and it like works out and it's not like annoying or anything, then go for it. But you know, just be like considerate and figure out what works for you. Okay, and the biggest thing to gain followers on Instagram is to be active. And I know this kind of frustrates people, but you just have to be on Instagram a lot to have lots of Instagram followers. It wasn't last New Year's, but the New Year's before that, when I was like, I'm changing my Instagram, and I deleted all my old pictures, and I was like, new start, and you know, I was on Instagram a lot. You know, you just have to go to accounts, you know, that are public, and, you know, like some of their pictures, leave a comment, follow them even if you like what they're posting, and you will have positive feedback back. If they didn't want you to be like liking your pictures or something, they would have their account on private. So I kind of feel like it's flirting sometimes, but like I'll just like go through Instagram pages and I'll like their pictures, and I'll like them because I genuinely like the photography that they're like putting out there. So it's really cool, and I really liked it because Instagram is a place where I definitely get a lot of like inspiration and stuff like that for my own pictures. And I'm like an avid photography person. Like I love photography and film, so I find enjoyment in that. That's kind of why I think my Instagram has grown so much over the years. It's just being on Instagram. So along with that, make sure your account is public, because people tend to not really follow private accounts. I've seen private accounts that have like 20K, and honestly, I do not know how they did that. If people can't see what your like photos are, they're probably not gonna follow you. So that's why I think you should just make your account public if you're looking to, you know, really grow your account. Also, post regularly. People are going to be really confused if you're like gone for like 3 weeks and you don't post anything. I was super good at posting regularly for a really long time. I've kind of gone out of it, but I'm trying to like get back into it and post more. So here's my dirty little secret to gain followers. It's not really a secret at all, but I'll share it with you. So I just casually have a conversation with myself and I'm like, what would people do to get more followers on Instagram? And I'm like, well, if, say for instance, there's this girl who runs a Cody Simpson fan account, she's probably going to go to Cody Simpson's page on his followers and follow some of those people because they obviously like Cody Simpson if they follow him, and she's thinking if she follows some of those people, they might follow her back, or she's thinking, you know, if I follow some of these people, then they probably have something in common with me, aka loving Cody Simpson, and so that's why I want to follow them. And so to make sure you're on the top of those lists, you just have to unfollow and then refollow those celebrities. So accounts with like more than 1 million or more than like 500k or something like that, just unfollow and refollow them so you're high up on their like new following list. That way when people click on that, they'll see your account and they might follow you. Which, I mean, some people would say is probably cheating the system, but it's really just a way of getting your Instagram page more out there and having a heavier like flow, I guess, of people coming into your page and like getting people to at least like look at it. Please don't do this to people who have smaller accounts because they will definitely notice all your notifications and they'll be like, what's going on? Why do they keep refollowing me? And that'll be annoying. But if it's someone like Beyonce or Harry Styles, they're not going to probably notice if you unfollow and refollow them. And then also with other accounts, I feel like they... this is like a different thing, but there are... I do follow some accounts of particularly like girls who have, you know, really gotten a big Instagram following just because they've had their Instagram for a while and people like their pictures, I guess. I don't know. But they like promote stuff. They promote apps and like body scrubs and stuff like that. And so if they're willing to like make money and take advantage of their followers in that way, I feel like it's okay if you unfollow and refollow them sometimes. If you do that, you can definitely gain followers or at least have more people looking at your page. Yeah, that's basically all the tips I have for Instagram that I can think of. Leaving this video on a positive note, just, you know, post what you want to on Instagram and be yourself. Don't feel like you need to post, you know, pictures of Starbucks just because other people are posting pictures of Starbucks. And don't be discouraged if your account's not growing because it will. It just takes time. I will be on Instagram after uploading this video. As I said, my Instagram is @MarisaLLL. So if you like some of my pictures or comment on some of them, not like spamming me, but like enough for me to notice, I will definitely return the favor and like your stuff back and maybe even follow you. So yeah, and then if you can't be on Instagram for some reason at the moment, you can definitely leave your username in the comments and I'll check you out that way. So yeah, I hope someone found this video helpful and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!